Hi, my name's Phil. Listen, if there's anything that I've learned after setting tile for over 50 years is that everybody loves to regrout. Wait, let me rephrase it. Nobody loves to regrout. But I hope that by the end of this short video, I'll be able to change your mind. I know these people well, and they had this bathroom done about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. And all in all, it's still a cute little bathroom. But the one thing that my homeowner says is that our grout looks a little bit tired. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna regrout this little floor. I'm gonna give you kind of a step-by-step details. We're gonna be using Customs SCG grout, single component grout. So we're gonna show you how easy it is to refresh this floor. Okay, I mentioned we brought in because the grout was kind of showing its wear, especially in the traffic area. So this grout was actually a lighter color, and I can tell actually by the texture that this was just a regular cementitious grout. Cementitious means, it's powder form. You add some water to it, mix it up, and put it in the grout lines. So we're going to be using this single component grout that I mentioned. So there's no mixing involved. It'll come right out of the can, and it will fill up these grout joints. Okay, we pulled the toilet just to make sure it got a little bit more room to work around here. Put a stink stopper in there, my old coffee cup. But and then I just taped off the shoe, because I'm not going to pull the shoe and base for this little job, and we'll be able to go right up to it with the new grout. So that's just kind of protect the shoe while we're working. Well, the big box stores sell a couple of grout removal tools. This one has carbide on 3 sides here. Just kind of drag it and scrape through the grout lines. This has a little saw. You can kind of see that I've used this multiple times. So I'm going to make a combination of these 2 tools to clean out the grout lines here. Now, all I'm gonna do is get between 16, maybe an 1/8 inch. I'd love to have an 1/8 inch depth so that our new grout has something to hang on to, something to grab to. I do not have to pull out every bit of grout. I do know that there's a floor heat system underneath here, so I don't want to go too deep, just in the event that there's a cable or something closer to the top of the surface of what's underneath this tile. So again, just scratch them out so that you have something for the new grout to grab onto. This part of the job is very important to take your time. This is a little, maybe a 20 square foot bathroom, so it's not going to be a big job as it is, but it's very important to take your time here so that you don't nick and chip a tile out. That would be not a good thing, especially at this stage. Here's a little before and after. You can see that I've scratched out that much grout, and that depth will be fine for our brand new grout to get in there and grab onto. This, of course, is what it used to look like. That is actually kind of the color it used to be, and that's what we're going to get back to. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is that if there was any grout that was loose or broken out, it's important to go ahead and check the install of the tile. There's no hollows under this tile, so the install was done fine. So the whole point of, if you would hear a hollow, would mean that there's voids underneath it, and that tile could be moving, or even a substrate underneath it. So it's just another FYI. Okay, now that we scratched out the whole room, I'm not going to kid you. It was manual labor. It's pretty hard to do sometimes, but this whole little bathroom only took me about 20 minutes or so. Okay, next step is that I'm gonna wipe down the whole floor. This is very dry. This is hardly any moisture whatsoever on this sponge, but what it's doing is it's taking off any of the surface bond breakers. We're trying not to get any moisture any water actually in those grout lines, because of course that's where our grout is going to go. There are three primary functions actually for grout. One is sanitary. Sanitary meaning let's fill up this grout line so food particles, dirt, just grit doesn't fall through that. Number two is it helps with the transitions, of course, between the tiles. What we would call lippage. If one tile is higher than the other, the transition is filled up with grout. We try to get as close to the surface of the tile just to make it kind of a mono, all one piece. And then number three, of course, is for aesthetics. You can see it comes in all different colors to match your whatever palette that you're using. And in my case here, we're going to be using the platinum because we do not want to feature our grout lines. We want it to blend in a little bit closer to this pattern. This tile, of course, has way too much or enough pattern, so we don't want to highlight it. There is a trend nowadays too of maybe black grout with white subway, and I sure hope that trend disappears pretty quickly. I mentioned that our Prism SCG grout is a single component grout, so you literally just open it up and that is ready to use. It's very creamy. Some of the premixed grouts are a little bit gritty or a little bit drier, but this is a very loose small aggregate. So technically all we want to do is smear it into the grout lines. I don't need to take a float and clear and actually grout over all of the tile because it's such small grout lines. I only have to do the grout lines themselves. What we're going to do is put it in, let the float squeegee it off, and trying to pack up the grout lines as tight to the surface as we can. We're going to let this cure. Another great aspect of this type of grout is we can have an open time. I'm going to easily grout this whole floor. We'll have an open time of 30 minutes, 40 minutes if you want, before it skins over. So we want it to kind of set up a little bit in the grout line so that when I do wash my initial wash, I'm not washing any of the material out of our grout line. This grout really is so easy to work with. It says it's the easiest grout, period. Well, I'm liking that. Is a pretty good description of this kind of material. Again, it's a nice color match also to our tile. I know it's going to dry a little bit darker, and so I think we made a good choice in that. I'll finish this floor. We're going to let it set, and then we'll start our first initial wash. Okay, I was able to hit all the grout lines. I'm very pleased with how much it's filled it up, and look at how much material is still left. This little bathroom took just about maybe 3 scoops. So this is another good benefit. You're going to have a shelf life, maybe as long as you close it and keep it tight, maybe 2 years shelf life. So if there's I come back here and maybe somebody dug out something or there was something damaged, got to replace the tile even, that material in there will be the exact same color as this material now if it gets reinstalled. A great reason to use any of the single component grouts. Okay, we let this cure for a little bit. Now we're going to do our initial wash. Literally just go on a 45-degree angle or so. We're just trying to get any of the material that's off the surface of the tile without digging into the grout lines themselves. So we want to keep those nice and full. So literally just go kind of soft across it. We're going to use a microfiber sponge for our final wash. But again, this is just the initial wash. Keep your sponge rinsed out so that you're not smearing the same material over and over and you're picking it up. So this is not too hard at all. Again, I gave it about 15 or 20 minutes to cure up. And so it's not coming out of the grout lines at all. And there's a little bit of a scrub to get it off of the surface of the tile, but that's what I wanted. I didn't want to dig it out of the grout lines. Okay, with our initial wash done, I changed our water or got fresh, and now I have a sponge that has a microfiber on it. So I'm just going to, once again, just drag it across the grout lines on a 45-degree angle, just taking any of the acrylic or any of the product that's still left on the surface of our tile. After I do that, I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to come back with one more time just for just to buff it out with one more dry microfiber, and then this is done. So thanks a lot for watching this video. I'll do a link to the SCG grout in the comments, and if you did like the video, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a share. You know how that works, right? So thanks again for watching. Again, thank you to Custom Building Products for providing this product for this job and that happy homeowner.